Hi guys, this is Jen. First and foremost, before I start my second video, I just want to thank each and every one of you for your awesome supportive comments and your Facebook comments and your Facebook messages and sharing my story. I see some of you guys on your Facebook walls for others to see. That is so awesome. I cannot express to you how thankful I am for you guys for being so supportive and being by my side here during my journey through this whole situation. So thank you so much. It means so much to me, and I love you guys. So before I get started, I have decided that I'm going to kind of break everything up to what prompted me to get tested for the BRCA gene and kind of where I am now with going through like my different appointments, just so you guys can see like where I'm coming from, what decisions I had to make along the way, just in case, you know, if you're in a similar situation and you had to go through that, or if you're about to go into something like that. You know, I know not everyone's experience is going to be like mine, but I'm going to just share my experience with you. First of all, I just wanted to talk about my family history because that plays an important role in getting tested for this gene. Long story short, it started back in middle school when my mother was diagnosed with stage 4 appendiceal carcinoma. That is cancer that started in her appendix, and stage 4 means that it had metastasized or traveled to other organs in her body, mostly in her abdomen and her ovaries and in her peri area, so to say. She went through surgeries to take out whatever they can. She had the port put in. She went through chemotherapy and everything worked. The cancer went away. She had scans. We were all happy. You know, the nightmare was over. As a young girl, you know, hearing that your mom has cancer, my first thought was, oh my God, is she going to die? But I have learned so much over the years that that's definitely not the case. But anyways, about 6 months later, after she was, you know, claimed that she was in remission, she started having symptoms of the cancer again, and she went to go get a scan, and lo and behold, the freaking cancer came back again. So because she had chemotherapy, because she had this surgery to remove basically everything that she didn't need to minimize the spread of the cancer, a lot of doctors wouldn't touch her. They said that she was in, I guess, poor condition, but they said there was really nothing else they can do for her. So my mother wouldn't take it. She's a fighter, and she will do anything in her power to get better for us, her family. We come first and foremost. So we love her for that. That's where I get my strong and positive attitude from, watching her go through everything she did. But anyways, she ended up going out of Connecticut to seek treatment because no one would help her here. And she ended up going to a hospital in Washington, D.C., to a doctor named Dr. Sugar Baker. Look him up. He's really awesome. He saved her life. And she went for a 9.5-hour surgery that was a 50-50% chance, with a 50-50% chance survival rate. So she had to make that huge decision. It was an experimental surgery. She didn't even know she was going to survive the surgery, but because she had kids, she said, I'm going to do whatever I can for my kids and to be around for my kids. So her positive attitude and her fight and her being strong is what got her through and where she is today. Knock on wood, come January, I believe she's going to be 9 or 10 years cancer free. So woo, go mom, love you. We all love you. You're a little miracle and our angel. And I look up to her every day. She's my inspiration throughout this whole thing. So getting back to the BRCA gene. Not only has my mom had cancer, but other family members in my family, I'm not going to name names or how they're related to me, just for privacy reasons, but they got tested for the BRCA gene and they were positive. So there's a good between, you know, immediate family and like aunts, uncles, all that stuff. I want to say there's 3 or 4 people who have been tested positive for the BRCA gene. So I know my mom has gotten tested and she was positive for it, and because she had cancer before, her rate or her chances of getting cancer again were high. It was about 80% since she was positive for the gene. So she actually opted to get this surgery done because she said, I am not going to deal with that again. I'm going to do whatever I can to prevent it. And that's kind of where my mindset is, watching her go through everything. I believe it was like last year she had, or like a year or 2 ago, she had the same, you know, double mastectomy with reconstruction, and she again was a fighter and she got through it. So, you know, with our family history and so many people getting tested for the BRCA gene, I decided to get tested because I wanted to know what my chances were to get cancer. Because between you and me, some people, they don't want to get tested. They don't want to know. It's just their preference, and that's okay. But I've watched my mom go through hell and back, and I watched her on her deathbed go through chemotherapy and all this crap that cancer has put her through, and I don't want to go through that. I'm putting my foot down, and I will do whatever in my power to not go through that if I can. So I'm kind of lucky in a way that I got tested so early, and I'm going to go through this situation, this process so early, because I can prevent myself, not 100%, but because I'm positive for the gene, my chances of getting cancer in my lifetime is 70%. I think that's a pretty high chance, and I don't want to deal with it. Screw you, cancer. That's my attitude. No way, not this girl. I'm not dealing with you. So if I have to do whatever I have to do, go through this surgery, so be it. I don't care. I'll do whatever I have to do. But I did get tested, and I kind of had a 50-50 chance if I was negative or positive, because I've had other family members test positive and others test negative. So I was kind of bracing myself mentally, saying, you know, anything really could happen. So I just went and I gave it a shot, and I went to my gynecologist and I asked her to get tested, and I know I would definitely, if you guys are interested in getting tested, if you have a family history of breast cancer, there's some sort of, whether it's covered or not by insurance, but I would talk to your doctor before, and they can advise you what they want you to do. But since I had such a high risk and a high family history of cancer, they totally recommended me to get tested for it. So the test is called My Risk, and this is a pamphlet that they give you. The test itself is a simple blood draw. It comes in a little box, and they give you a pamphlet explaining what the test is, and it's literally a tube that big, like you're getting a basic blood draw like you would at Quest Diagnostics. And you know, they do it right in the office. They take down your information, simple blood draw. They send it out to the blood station to get tested. And it does take a couple weeks to get back. I think they said 3 to 6 weeks for processing. So they did come back, and I kept getting phone calls, you know, crossing my fingers that I was negative and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. But I kept getting phone calls from my gynecologist, calling me. And I'm like, why are they calling me so much? Like, what's going on? And they said, you know, you did come back positive. And my first reaction was like, oh, man, thanks, Ma. Because it's the same mutation as my mom had. But it's not her fault. I mean, it's life. That's how genetics work. Things get passed on. And, you know, you just do what you have to do in the moment and that moment to make it better. So I kind of mentally prepared myself, like I said beforehand, to if I was positive or not. I just wanted to show you, they do give you paperwork. I kind of folded it over with my personal information so it doesn't show, but it does have the red plus sign there. I don't know if you guys can really see clearly, but it says clinically significant mutation identified. And then over here it says what gene, the BRCA2 gene, and the mutation detected right over here. And it says for the interpretation, it's a high cancer risk, and it says this patient has hereditary breast and ovarian cancer syndrome. So I know there's two different BRCA genes, BRCA1 and BRCA2. So depending on which one you have, there's, different percentages of you getting cancer and stuff. But in my case, I was positive for the BRCA2. So, and I thought this was pretty cool. They send you in the packet as well, the BRCA2, and then it tells you what you're at risk for. So I don't know if you can see that clearly, but it says I am a high risk for breast and ovarian cancer as well as pancreatic cancer, and I'm at an elevated risk for melanoma. So that was kind of a red flag. That's good information to have just to keep in the back of your mind, when you're going through what are my options, how far do I really want to go. And it does give you here percentages of, what to do for when you're, like your cancer risk for breast cancer, ovarian cancer, all the cancers you're at risk for, and the ages, like what your percentages are as you get older for the certain type of gene. Also, they do give you this little information, what management for cancer risk should you be considered, and it does tell you, at the age what should be done. So at the age of 18, breast awareness. At the age of 25, get a clinical breast examination, and so on and so forth. There is a risk-reducing mastectomy, which I opted to have, and the age to begin is individualized. So you just need to talk to your doctor and go over the options and see which one is right for you. But basically, that's the test. They do give you this whole packet, and the packet that I showed you before here kind of goes through each and every page of the packet, the test packet, with your information, and it just kind of gives you resources and like what does your family need to know? With this information, what should I do? So it's a really good, thing to have. And I think they have my risk not only for the BRCA gene, but I think you can get like a whole test of different things. Like I think there's like a test where you can get tested for multiple cancers and see what your percentages are. So that's basically what the test is, and from there I talked to my gynecologist about my options, and she did, recommend some other options to me, but I am going to make another video maybe later on today, or maybe sometime during the week, maybe Thursday or whenever, kind of letting you know where I went from in my thinking from when I got this test done and my results. So just wanted to let you guys know, what type of test it was and what the paperwork says and what you get and everything. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, please Facebook message me. Facebook comments are welcome. If you guys aren't, if you're someone else that I'm not friends with on Facebook, you can always leave a comment below. I will be checking them throughout the day. I know a lot of people have said to me, I want to ask you a question, but I don't know if you're comfortable answering it. I just want to let everyone know I am so open to this, and no question is too much or too much information or too personal. So I want you guys to reach out to me if you guys have any questions. And like I said, we're going to get through this. I'm going to let you guys know, you know, most of the details through where I am now and how I got here. So I will talk to you guys later, and look for my third video either today or sometime this week. Bye guys. Thanks again.